Now, the next one is actually, to me, is a bit intriguing, but the Eagles were featured last week in the intriguing game. Now they have to play the Broncos. Broncos are coming in defensively, you know, like what do we say? And the Broncos defensively are number 2. They're only giving up 17 points a game. You know, the Eagles defensively are 20th, giving up 24. That's a full 1 touchdown more than what the Broncos are giving up. So can the Broncos stay that strong? And Philadelphia, it has to go to the Mile High Stadium and try to get something done in that thin air.
That may not be a good thing for those guys. And I'll tell you this, we just talked about the Philadelphia Chargers game last week. I would venture to guess, and as your lists prove, Denver's defense is playing better overall than the Chargers defense is. They are not a team that it can easily be run on, and they will bring pressure. I made a note that Jalen Hurts completed 4 passes in the first half of the game against the Chargers. 4 completions in an entire half of football, and they still didn't run the ball efficiently. So as far as I'm concerned, this game is an easy one for the Denver Broncos. I don't think the Eagles, all I've been hearing about for the last couple of weeks is how weak the schedule is going through to the end of the season. And all of a sudden it seems to be getting stronger and stronger against them every week. I don't see them going into Denver and winning that game at all.
All right. Well, Denver is definitely getting their thing together, man. And, you know, they are 3.8 average net points so far for the season, but in the last 3 games, +6 in net points. So, you know, they're moving in the right direction. Teddy's managing the game. Teddy heard me say his arm looked soft, so he started throwing the darts a little bit last week. So we'll see how that all works.
Bro, they put something on. I'll tell you this. To me, the main indictment on the Broncos was the coaching and the game plans and their approach to each game. But they came against Dallas perfectly, punched them in the mouth with their running game. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams played great, carried the ball 38 times between them for 191 yards. That's better than if Derrick Henry got to him. Between the 2 guys.
Right.
Teddy Two Gloves was efficient. They basically stopped Dallas in their tracks. I don't see the Eagles being able to do anything with that defense. Nothing.
Yeah, that was one of those things that you look up and you go, wait, this wasn't supposed to happen. What's going on here? You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, we'll talk a little bit about that whole conundrum of craziness that happened last weekend in terms of the contenders getting smacked around like that. All right. Now, the Magic Man. What do they call Russell Wilson now? Mr. something, Mr. Fantabulous.
I don't know. I call him Dangerous.
Dangerous. That's one of the things he's coming back with. They're saying it's almost miraculous how he has healed and how he's ready to play.
Without a doubt. He had a fracture. He had ligament damage. He had dislocation. That finger was jacked up, man. What he has for real is some serious healing power. So, you know, that's a good thing. If he's actually able to play, which I believe that he will. They said he had a limited practice, but the limited snaps that he took in practice, and I don't know if they had him take any snaps from under center because, you know, when the center snaps the ball back like that and you're under center, that could possibly hurt your finger. But if they had him in the pistol or the shotgun, he's able to throw the ball. He can grip the ball. He can throw the ball. He made all the throws in practice, and then they pulled him out of there. So he proved that he's on the mend. If he does that again, that was yesterday. So if he does that again today, and I'm sorry, that was today. Today is Wednesday. If he does that again on Thursday and Friday, I say he starts that game.
He's hitting lock it deep already.
Yeah, they said he made all the throws.
Wow. Wow.
They just didn't keep him out there for the full practice. He went out, he did his thing. They saw enough and they said, all right, go sit down. So, they do that again for the next couple of days. He's going to start. And if he starts and they're coming off the bye and they play Green Bay, again, I'm going to assume that Aaron Rodgers will be back. I believe he'll pass through the COVID protocols. And if he does, then we're going to have ourselves a good game.
Hey, is it a bad thing if I call him Aaron Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire Rodgers from now on? The rest
well, that's kind of a long name, but I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
Well, the bias is favoring Green Bay Packers with Aaron coming back, and they're checking him now for understand because sometimes this COVID thing hits you, and you ain't quite right for a little while. You know what I mean? I
don't know. Did he have symptoms?
Yeah. From my understanding, he had some mild symptoms.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the symptoms came after the test. I don't think he came in with symptoms, and I think he was asymptomatic at test time.
Okay.
But Seattle's got to get that run game going, and in both cases, this turned out to be an intriguing game. Possibility. I'm looking at the Seattle ranked 19th in scoring. Green Bay's defense is ranked 6th. And that's probably one of the bigger scenarios. Green Bay's offense is ranked 20th, and Seattle's defense is ranked 9th. So the defenses look like they have the upper hand in this particular game. Could be a defensive battle, but 0.8, that's less than 1. So that's almost a tie. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I really would actually like to see the Seahawks win. I would like to see Russ come back from a pretty serious injury and rally the troops. But that's my heart. My head says the Packers will win this game for a couple of reasons. Number one, because they're a better team. Which doesn't mean that much because obviously during the course of this season already, we've seen the better team not only not win, but get kind of handled. But number two, usually when when adversity hits Aaron Rodgers, he usually hits back really hard. So I expect the Packers to win this game, and I expect Aaron to play really well. Devontae's back. Everything's pretty much in order. They should handle the Seahawks.
All right. Going with the bias, Mr. Dickerson. I don't know, man. Going with the bias off a lot here.
Well, I mean, I only pick upsets when I really feel them.
Well, that wrapped up the early evening slate of games. We're now going to get to the Sunday night game. I love these featured games. When we do these Bias Plus reports, I definitely want to put these out as individual clips because everyone gets a chance to focus, and that's one of the great things about it. Let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs going into Las Vegas with the Raiders. Man, I feel so sorry for the Raiders for everything they've had to go through. 2.8 Bias Plus score does favor the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, I'll tell you what.
And this is an intriguing candidate.
This is an intriguing candidate, as it should be. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to cure what ails them just yet. Now, the Raiders lost to my New York Giants last week, but it's mainly because Derek Carr threw 2 really bad interceptions, and one was returned for a pick 6. So, you throw a pick 6 against a team that comes in like the Giants with a solid game plan, ran the ball heavy, threw the ball underneath, ball control, time of possession control, got the touchdowns necessary, and then clamped down on defense. So if you go back and you look at the Raiders' stats, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, all their main guys actually played well. They just couldn't find the end zone. I don't think that's going to happen when they play the Chiefs, especially at home with the crowd behind them, and they're going to be hungry for a win. I'm going to take the Raiders to win this game.
Well, in the last 3 games, the Raiders are plus 4.7 in average net points. So they've, even with that loss, they're looking decent. And I know you just really are not feeling the Chiefs this year, are you?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, going with the bias, 2.8. That is the Sunday night football NFL prime time matchup right there. So we'll all get a chance to watch Patrick Mahomes' feet. That's what he said. Let's look at his feet now. Let's see if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing with his feet. And
he hasn't been. He hasn't been. And the Raiders' pass rush can get kind of nasty, especially if they can get a couple scores up. Those guys really come hard. They get after you.
All right, Ben. That leaves Monday Night Football, another featured prime time matchup between my beloved San Francisco 49ers, who will be hosting the LA Rams. Talk about egregious passes. I mean, Stafford, he threw the one pass, he looked like Carson Wentz from his own end zone for getting wrapped up and tossing passes and stuff. It's amazing. I saw that I don't know how many times. However, bias plus score of 11 favors the LA Rams, as it logically should. We're not looking real strong. However, I am really happy about Mitchell. I told you, he's definitely in the family, no doubt about it. And I did play this game. And I won this game. It was close because I had 2 or 3 Kirk Cousins moments myself. And I'm throwing things and I'm like, But if you stick to the soul of what the San Francisco 49ers are about, it's about running that ball. And that's one of the things they have been able to do with the Rams. So they could potentially, make it interesting. I don't do intriguing games for my own team. Rams a favorite. Who you got?
Well, I know you're not going to pick this one for your intriguing game because it's your team, but I don't think it's going to be anything intriguing about this. That loss that the Rams took last week to the Titans had to sting, and it was Matt Stafford's first, I don't even really want to say bad game. I mean, he threw for 294 yards, but again, turnovers will get you. He threw 2 picks, and one was a pick 6. Those hurt really bad. And after that, Tennessee got up and started sending the defense after him. They're swarming. They sacked him 5 times. I don't think Stafford's been sacked more than 3 times in any game this season. I'd have to go back and check, but I don't think that has happened. So he's got to be hurting from that. The whole team's got to be feeling that, and they're going to come back with a vengeance, and they're going to turn all those offensive weapons on against your depleted defense, and this could get ugly.
This could get ugly. Famous last words. Yeah. All right, well, coming into Levi Stadiums, let's go, babies. Let's go. Let's do what you do, all right? I'm rooting for you. Okay, Benny. So as usual, at the end of our Bias Plus reports, we look back on the previous week to see who the team was that was the underdog, was not favored, but yet still actually won. And between the unfavorable Bias Plus score and whatever their net win was, that total is the Bias Plus Buster score that goes out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had an unfavorable Bias Plus score, 32 going against them. It looked bad. It looked like they shouldn't even show up, but they won by 3 for a Bias Plus Buster score of 35. So congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars, Bias Plus Busters of the week.
Yeah, congratulations definitely is in order for Jacksonville. I don't know how much cover 2 they've played over the course of the season, but that coaching staff put their heads together and said, you know what, we're not going to let Josh Allen beat us deep, and we're going to just hang on and see what happens. And because Buffalo couldn't muster up enough of a running game to supplement what they were doing underneath the cover 2, they had trouble finding the end zone. And when you do that, even a team that has trouble finding the end zone every single week can kick 3 field goals and beat you. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow. Yeah. That was one of those games last week. And I wondered, and we'll talk about this in the next section,